Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The much-needed break from the Tarmac Esports Truck Series is over, and many of those drivers needed that break after it was a caution-filled mayhem at Richmond. Beating and banging on those trucks, getting those dents out, they definitely needed that. Johnny Evans picked up the win, and he is our first repeat winner on the season. Welcome into the Tarmac Esports Studio 8. I am Ryan Griffith. I have Patrick Day with me and Chris Miller. How are we doing on this Wednesday night as we are about to go racing at Atlanta? How are we doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. New year, and Happy New Year, everybody. And hopefully some new luck for me. Just has not been my way this season, but yeah, Johnny Evans, good race, man. That was an awesome finish. I went back and watched it, and watching Evans and Catalano run for first place there, back and forth, that was awesome. Good, clean, hard racing.
Yeah, guys, I'm good. I hope you guys had a good holiday. Hopefully all of the drivers had a good holiday and a Happy New Year. And glad to be back. But like you said, Ryan, it was a much-needed break for a lot of drivers. I guess it was kind of nice that right before the holiday we went to Richmond. Hopefully some of the people forgot about Richmond because there was a lot of beating and banging out there. 13 cautions for half the race.
Yeah, 64
was
laps.
spent under caution. Yes, yeah, so wow, it was really discouraging even going back and watching that. Even though most of the incidents up until the last probably third of the race, all the incidents were pretty much single car. It was just guys losing it coming out of the turn, whatever there. But the last third of the race was just a lot of guys on newer tires, a lot of guys on different sequences that were just, or they'd get involved in an incident and then they were faster coming through the field, and they just weren't patient enough, and we had a lot of cautions.
Yeah, caution field, and hopefully we don't see any more of that for the remainder of the season, because being under caution for half of the race is crazy to me. Ridiculous, really. Unacceptable, really, should be the quote from many drivers, is that should not really happen. I mean, 64 laps under caution of 130. It just makes for a really boring race for sure. But
I can't say anything because I caused two, so,
Come on, Patrick.
Yeah, right. It usually doesn't happen, but, you said on the broadcast, I saw an opportunity to jump the outside on Grant, and he just didn't know had to run and came up into me, racing incident. And then, yeah, after I got damaged late in the race, I came off of 2 there and spun. I think it was partly because of the damage, because I didn't get loose like that the whole race. So, but yeah, I can't talk. I caused 2 cautions, 2 of those. So.
Yeah, and Chris, it's interesting that you stated a couple weeks prior to coming to Richmond that we would not get past Richmond before we seen our first repeat winner. And ding dong, you got it right. Johnny Evans gets himself in victory lane, and our first repeat winner of the season finally comes well past the halfway point there at Richmond. So looking at the point standings, Nick Galusha still stands on top of the leaderboard and still looks really strong. We'll go into these top 5 later on in this segment. Kyle Wellman, he does move up 1 spot. Now he's in that number 2 spot, so in striking distance here. Third is Paul Fly. He dropped 1 spot there from last week. Trevor Catalano is in that 4th position, and Zach Dykstra now finds himself in the 5th position up 2 spots. We'll talk a little bit more about Dykstra in this show too. 6th runs Paul Negus. He's in that 6th position. He moved up 4 spots from last week, and that is a really good race for him. We'll talk a little bit more about him later on.
Got some teeth, finally. He got some teeth.
He did. Timmy Lewis up 1. He's into that 7th position. Ernie Williams drops 4. He's into the 8th position. 9th is Harold Routh down 3. Patrick Day, you dropped 1 spot there, but you're still inside the top 10 right now. Grant Clark, your teammate, runs in the 11th spot. Jeff Herman up 3. Again, we talked about Jeff Herman just continues to climb that ladder, and here he is into the 12th position. 13th runs Ryan Palmer. He's up 1, and he was actually your most laps led in Richmond's race, and so he was pretty strong up front, and so he moves up 13th into the 13th position, up 1 spot. Derek Rolfling up 2. 15th is Daniel Quigley. He does drop 3 there. 16th, Sam Reed moves up a spot. 17th is Greg Bridge, moves up a spot as well. Brandon Voiles moves up 2 spots in the 18th position. John Ott stays where he's at. He's in the 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Stephen Polacek there, up 1 spot. So looking at the standings here, as we've got, we got 4 races left on the series. Patrick, what's your mindset going into these last 4 races? Where do you want to be at? The hopes of winning a championship's probably dashed by a long shot, but what's your goals?
My goal is just to finish strong. I'd like to hit the top 5. I don't see me catching Nick. He'd have to have a string of really, really bad luck, 2 or 3 races worth for me to really get enough points up there. I'd like to get a win under my belt. We'll see. I got a couple more tracks coming up that I possibly can do well at. So we'll see. But I will say this is Nick Galusha's championship to lose. So.
And so I got the same question for Chris over there. When are we going to see us crack inside the top 20?
I don't even know if it'll happen. I mean, just like when we were at Richmond after we started having quite a few incidents, I wasn't really I don't think I caused any. I might have had one in there, but I just decided to park it because there was too much going on, and I wanted to try to admin a little bit more than what I was obviously driving. So I don't know if we'll crack into the top 20, but, I guess what I want to see more is from a league standpoint. I just want to see we've got 4 very favorable tracks as far as to limit the amount of cautions that we have. Hopefully the drivers respect each other, clean it up a little bit, and we have a little bit better racing than we do at Richmond.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about those top 5 drivers because, it's interesting. To say the least, and here's what the top 5 looks like. With Nick Galusha there in the 20 machine, he has the points lead with 339 points. There you got the second place of Kyle Wellman. He has 319. He's 20 back. You got the 94 of Paul Flies in third there with 315 down, 24 from the lead. Trevor Catalano there in the 55 machine at 307, down 32 points from the lead. And then Zach Dykstra in the top 5 now, 37 points out from the leader at 302. Looking at the betting odds for the winning the championship, Nick Galusha is obviously the betting favorites here. But you look across the board there and it changes a little bit. You see Catalano is probably your least likely that's going to win the championship. But you got Kyle Wellman right there in second place. You actually got Zach Dykstra back here with a really good shot. He has a better shot than really Paul Fly at this point in stage. And, it's because he obviously has a drop week that he could still count there because he's been doing very well. He has that 24th finish. That was his worst finish. You look at Paul Fly, he has a 29th and a 20th, so he's both got them drop weeks. So another bad race from Paul Fly, that could do him in and really, really hurt his chances for any kind of championship. But Nick Galusha, still there, still has that potential that he could drop another race. I know he probably don't want to do that, and especially here at Atlanta, he would love to go into, Iowa feeling at least somewhat confident in knowing that he has that drop week. But guys, looking at this and looking at the betting odds here, if you was a betting person and you wanted to make some money, which guy would you go for?
I would go for Catalano if I want to make money.
Catalano.
Yeah, he's probably. I mean, as far as talent goes and racing talent goes, probably the best up there. But he's just had some hard luck this season. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to take a gamble, right, and playing the odds, I would go Catalano.
And how much money would you put on that?
$1.
Oh,
I'm not a big betting guy. No, I'd probably put 100 on that.
Woo! That would turn you some big money. How much would that be, Chris?
$320.
Wow. That'd be a pretty good return. I like that. Chris, you're a betting guy. Who would you go for here?
I mean, obviously, I took Nick Galusha as my champion anyway, but that's not going to make you any money. I mean, $100 bet there makes you $33 or $32. So, not going to put my money on him. But honestly, Patrick's right with Trevor. I mean, he missed one race and then he had one really bad finish, and he's actually really good there. Otherwise, if he could finish the rest of the races, I think he'd be right up there. But Zach Dykstra, I mean, if you look at that, yeah, he doesn't have the top fives. He's got the sixth, the seventh, but and he's missing the bonus points. I mean, that's the thing that's going to hurt him. I mean, you look at how many bonus points Galusha's already wrapped up. I mean, the money's on Galusha. You're a fool if you don't take him right now. But I would put it on Dykstra as far as the best chance to catch him.
Yeah, and you spoke about the bonus points, and really that's what's really hurting Zach Dykstra right now is not having those lap led. If he could just lead a lap, just stay out when maybe somebody else goes in for change of tires or whatever the case may be, if he could just lead a lap, that could go a big way. But if he could lead the most laps as well, I mean, that's huge. That's 4 points. And you look at Nick Galusha.
He's not that type of driver, though.
No.
Right,
but
yeah.
you look at Nick Galusha, that's where he's been so dominant this season. He's got 2 races there where he's led the most laps and was the lap leader, of course. But look at the bonuses down through there. Every single race but your last race at Richmond. Pretty impressive. The same could be said for Kyle Wellman here. He's done the same thing other than New Hampshire was not ever able to lead a lap. But, I think that's the biggest problem with Zach Dykstra right now is not having those bonuses. And could that change? I don't know. You look at that third place finish. It was his best finish of the season, but there was an accident. He was able to get by that accident. It was a pretty good one there. And so that's where he finishes in that third position. But the question still is, if he does go through the rest of this season and finishes the next 4 races, 5th place, 6th place, somewhere around in there, where do you think that he could fall in the point standings?
And Zach, if he gets strings of right around 5th place finishes, he's definitely going to be in the top 5. I think 3rd maybe is where I would put him.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I put him 2nd as of right now. I think if he can somehow finish these races with only one more race that he has to drop, or potentially even use one of those 10th place finishes as his drop week, he finishes 2nd. That's, saying that Kyle Wellman and Paul Fly and Catalano here are all going to have at least one race in there that's going to be a 20th or worse finish, or a 15th or worse. I know car counts are down a little bit, but a 15th or worse. So I think their drop week is going to become worse. Zach Dykstra on that week, if it's this week maybe, I think he'll jump almost 15 to 17 points, so he's right there in 2nd place.
I would go with that too, Chris, because I do feel that definitely out of those 3, the 42, the 94, and the 55, I feel that at least 2 of those are going to have another potentially bad race. And why I say that is because, well, we just seen 64 caution laps, and so someone's going to have some bad luck out there. And it could be one of those drivers. So,
yeah, but no tracks under a mile left on the schedule though. So that
again, going back and looking at who we picked as champions, Patrick, who did you pick as a champion?
I picked Timmy Lewis.
Timmy Lewis. So he's not inside the top 5. Chris, who did you pick?
I had Galusha.
And he's leading right now. And I had 42 Kyle Wellman. So yeah, he's doing well. So hey, we did good with our picks, really, for that. So interesting enough. Anything else that you guys see on that you want to notate or highlight out about these drivers? The one thing that I wish that we would have maybe not seen happen was Trevor Catalano not miss the Daytona 125 race, because what would this point standings look like if he was there? Drastically different, right?
Yeah, maybe. Talladega is a toss-up, right? You really don't know what's going to happen. If he would have been lucky and been out of harm's way, he could have won that race, right? But it's possible he could have gotten in a wreck like Timmy Lewis did and had a bad race. So you never know. And that's what tonight's going to be like. I think Atlanta's going to run like what Talladega did. It's going to be a drafting track. I hope we don't have as many cautions, but we'll see. So if he makes it out of here well, who knows?
If I was in these guys' shoes, the 42, the 94, and the 55, if I was in their shoes racing this championship, I feel like because I've already had those drop weeks, that I can't be as aggressive. Even with it being Atlanta, only 4 races left. I think that's where it's a huge advantage for both Nick Galusha and Zach Dykstra, that they have that ability that they can be a little more aggressive than these other 3 drivers.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look through that logic, right? Kyle had his 2 drop weeks in the first 3 races, and he's still driving hard and up there and aggressive, right? So, it all depends on how these races go, and this season, I would just have to say, for whatever reason, has gone towards the aggressive drivers' way, right? Me and Grant were doing really well at Richmond when we had that really long run. We got to 30 laps. I was like, all right, here we go, man. We're going to have a 40 or 50 lap run here. And because we were starting to pull those guys up in front of us back in, and caution came. Right? So our strategy of getting tires and taking it easy on the tires just never gets to play out.
Chris, what do you think on these 3 drivers? Do you feel like they maybe a little less aggressive? I mean, Patrick says it, the 42, Kyle Wellman, it's just not in his blood.
I mean, yeah, what's he going to do? Slow down? He's not going to slow down. I mean, I don't know if it really... You've got the leader sitting out there with essentially 1 drop week right now. So, I don't know how... If you want to win the championship, you can't sit back. If you're really looking to finish second, well, then maybe you're not as aggressive. But I still agree with Galusha and Dykstra are in the best spot here. And as far as the Catalano comment about Daytona there, I don't think it matters. I mean, if you look at Galusha and Paul Fly there and Wellman, they're 9th, 30th, 16th, and Zach Dykstra's 7th. So let's just say Catalano's an 8th. I mean, so his 18th is his drop week, and it's not much different than them other guys.
Yeah, good point. Yep. All right, so let's move on to the safety rating from after our last race. We talked about it. It was a bad one. Definitely was. So there was your safety ratings and who had the worst races out there.
I gave John 4 of those.
Okay.
That's what I split him. I clipped him.
So yes, Patrick and Grant, that team just was trash at Richmond. They had 16 points, so not good. Derek Roffling was 16, Harold Ralph 14, Timothy Lewis 18. Who leads right now currently in the safety with the most would be Grant Clark at 88 right now, and then John Ott. Jeff Herman still runs with the lowest. He only had +4 last race, so good for him. Looking at the lap leaders now, still basically the same there with Nick Galusha up there, and he's your number one in points. Kyle Wellman there, second in points, has been second in the laps led now. Catalano there was 69, Timmy Lewis there was 75, Paul Fly 25. So you've got your top four in there. You know, you look at where Zach Dykstra, of course, we already know, isn't letting laps, so that's where he needs to find himself, is on this lap lead border. Before I move on to the other things that we've got covered for today, still got time. We've got 4 races left to donate to the Tarmac Esports. You can do that by going to PayPal and donating right to that link there. We'd greatly appreciate it. So, something that we did a little bit different this season. We've done our picks, and that's, you know, the points on the picks. I can bring those up there on the right side. You can see I have 9. Patrick has 10. Chris has 9. It's really close, and we still have 4 races left, and I really want to try to shake some things up. So it's time to do some betting. And so with our first card, we have a betting card out here for the Studio 8 gambling cards. Here we are with the total cautions here at Atlanta. What will we see? The line is at 4.5. Okay, if you get it correct, you're going to get 2 points. If you get it wrong, -1. You can choose to play this card, or you could choose not to play this card. It is completely up to you whether or not you want to play it. We will do this in reverse order here. Okay, I'm going to start with Patrick. You're going to take this first card. If you choose to play it, you can say that you're going to choose to play it. Then I'll go to myself, and then we'll go to Chris, and then we'll rotate around on the next 2 cards. So starting with the total cautions, the line is at 4.5. Patrick, are you going to play this card? And if you are, what are you choosing?
I am playing this card over.
He is playing it with the over. So he believes there's going to be more than 4.5 cautions. So there has to be 5 cautions for him to win. So I am choosing to not play this card. I think it's just too dangerous. Because restrictor plate at times can be pretty clean racing. So I'm just gonna step away from it. I am not playing this card right here. Chris, what is your pick here?
I'm a gambling man. I'm gonna play every card. I'm telling you that right now. But I'm going with the over, and I'm going with the over because I'll tell you what. Last season we did restrictor plate racing. Now I won't be able to do this the rest of this season, but I was able to go back and look at 3 races we had that were with a little bit smaller group, and we averaged 6.5 cautions. So I'm gonna go with that over.
Okay. So I am hoping that you both lose here and bust, and yeah, that would be great for me. Okay, so you guys both take the over on this card. Second card that will come up, Chris, you will have, or I'm sorry, I will have the first pick, and then we'll go to Chris, and then Patrick, you'll get the last choosing. So this is the next card that we get to choose. It's a tough card, gambling card for who will lead the most laps. And there is your odds. Odds favor is Nick Galusha, of course, because, well, he's been the lap leader. Kyle Wellman right there, close by. So I am going to choose to actually play this card here. I am going to go with Kyle Wellman is going to lead the most laps here. If I'm wrong, I'll lose 1. If I'm right, I'll get +2. Chris, what you betting here?
I'm playing the card also, and I'm going with Kyle Wellman also.
Okay. Patrick, how about it yourself?
I'm torn now. I'm torn because I could do the best, or probably the best play, right? And say I'm going to play it, and I'm going to choose Kyle Wellman. You know, right? But originally, I was not going to play this card. I just think Atlanta is going to be too back and forth to really be comfortable in picking somebody.
Mm-hmm.
but if y'all are right, y'all get 2 points.
I know it's tough.
That's
That's why we're doing this.
Right. So, yeah, honestly, it can't hurt me going last. I'm going to play it and pick Kyle Wellman.
Okay. Kyle Wellman it is. All right. So everyone sweeps it there with Kyle Wellman.
Right.
All right. So this next one, Chris, you're going to have the first one at it. And this card will be the Studio 8 gambling card is lead changes here at Atlanta. The line is set at 15.5. Chris, you said you're a gambler. You're playing this card. What are you choosing?
Yeah, I'm definitely playing it, and I'm taking the over.
Taking the over. Patrick?
I'm looking here. How many laps do we have at Atlanta?
75.
Yeah,
75 laps.
75, I think.
Ooh. 15 lead changes. Ah, that's tough. You have a lot of aggressive drivers. It's back and forth. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to play it because I think it's going to be a back and forth run from high side to low side. And I agree with Chris here. I think it's going to be over.
Man. So now I have the last pick. I can see where this is challenging when you have the last pick. It makes it really
right.
tough because
it'd have been probably easier for you if I chose an under, right? Because you could say, "Well, I'll just leave it alone," and but
well, with you being the leader right now in points, if you went with the under, I would definitely be going with the over here because going into this, I was already deciding that I was going to go with the over because I do believe we'll see 16, but I gotta make a push here, and that's not gonna do me any good if I pick there. I mean, yes, it would because I would get to right along with you guys, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the under here. I'm gonna go with the under and hope that it pays off for me here, and then you guys win. Maybe I'll get 2 here. Try to shake up the points as much as we possibly can. So we'll see what happens with the betting odds.
I want to let you know, since I had to go first there, I wasn't going to tell you the stats, but I mean, good luck to you. We averaged 23 in the 3 races that we had at Atlanta in the last season.
Yes, and the other thing was Daytona earlier in this season, it would have been over this 15.5 as well, so a lot of lead changes there. That normally happens when we do restrictor plate racing, so we'll see. The only thing that I could see maybe that would save maybe this and it being the under is if you get teammates up there, the Rat Bastards team, if they get up there and they're lined up, 4 back, that could potentially knock down that lead change. So we'll see.
Correct.
We'll see. Yep. So now it's time for our picks, and let's get into it. We've got the pick board for here at Atlanta. We already talked about the points, 9, 10, 9. That probably just shaked up quite a bit now that we went through the gambling cards. All right, Chris has your first one queued up for us. Patrick, who's he got?
Well, I don't know if he's going with his trend of picking a lot of the Rat Bastards or if he's going to look back at Daytona and see who did well there, right? I think he's going to go with this Rat Bastard trend. So I'm going to say in third place, he's going to say Paul Fly.
Chris?
Good pick, but no, I did not go with Paul Fly. I'm taking a guy I haven't taken all season here, and there's a reason why I haven't taken him all season. He's only been with us for half the season. So, but Brandon Surratt, I think he's going to come through. He's done well in the restrictor plate racing. He does well in the truck. We haven't seen a whole lot of him. He has ran up front. He's been in some incidents that have taken him back to the back. But I think he's going to run well here, and hopefully I'm right there with him, at least pushing my teammate to that third place finish.
I really like this pick. After I seen it come through, I already had my picks in, and I was like, man, that was a really good pick, because didn't he win at Atlanta at one point in time against us? I believe
he did, and I think he might have won in last season there. Actually, I think he did win there. I think that's the race that we were all top 3 there at the end, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for you and I. But Brandon's going to be good there, and I think it's I wanted to take him higher, but at least at this point, I'm still going to get the 1 point for him. I just didn't have the faith over these other 2 guys.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Brandon Surratt, the number 11. See what he can do. All right, Patrick, you got us queued up here for your third pick. And Chris, what does he have?
Well, I don't know. I think he's going to go with my other teammate, Derek Roblin.
Good pick. No, I didn't go Derek Roffling. I think the Rat Bastards are gonna work well together here. So I actually put Paul Fly in third place here.
Yeah, I mean, why not? The last race that we went to that we didn't really think that it was going to be a drafting track. It ended up being a drafting track, and then they just stuck together and they were content where they were at, and it really paid out well for them. And I think you're right. I think they could be very, very dominant here at Atlanta, being the biggest team, really. I believe they're the biggest team as far as car count goes. So they are. My third place, I have her queued up. Guys, who do I have?
You can't have Kyle Lemon here because you say he's going to lead the most laps. So, wow, who do you have here? Chris, I'm thinking if you have something on your mind right now, go ahead.
I do. So, I think you're searching for points, and I think this guy deserves to be called out in here. He's had some bad luck. Some of it's been on himself. But Ryan Palmer, I think you're going with.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That's a very good pick.
Yep. I think he's going to be safe, though, and say Nick Galusha.
Okay. So my pick here in third place dictates my winner of this race, and so my third place position is going to go to Chris Miller. I'm just joking with you. It's not Chris Miller. Derek Roffling.
Might work here.
Okay.
Derek Roffling. I got him in the 88 machine. I believe he will push my leader to the win. Cross the line. All right. Chris, time to find out who we've got here for the number 2 spot. And Patrick, what do you think he has?
Well, he's not doing the right answers, it doesn't seem. So, this is a hard one. Okay, I'm going to say he's going to say Johnny Evans here.
Johnny Evans. Chris.
Good pick, and that's who I took. I did take Johnny Evans. I tell you, when I said I mean business, and my second and first place finish here, I mean business, and the Dirty Rat Bastards, if we were at Richmond or maybe even a mile track, I'd be calling out them, but I'm taking Johnny Evans here, and that's a little hint for you on my first place one there. So Johnny will be in second.
Okay. Hey, worked out for me when I picked him to win, and you guys didn't pick him at all because I had a little insight, and that's what.
Yeah, insider
points.
We should have you arrested for insider information.
Bad thing is, I didn't talk to him this week, so I don't know if he's going to be here or not. I have no idea. So.
Yeah, he hasn't let us know, but I think he did say it was a good chance that he was going to make the rest of the races, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. All right. Patrick, you have the number 2 spot queued up for us. Chris, who does he have here?
Well, I mean, he said they were all gonna probably hook up, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll with one of them. I'm gonna put Nick Galusha here in second.
Good pick. I did not pick Nick here. I picked his other teammate, Timmy Lewis, and the reason I did that is because I think Timmy Lewis and Paul Fly are tired of pushing Nick, so they're actually going to pass him and finish ahead of him this time. I think Nick is a good top 5 pick, but yeah, I think Timmy Lewis and Paul Fly are gonna try harder to get by him for this race.
Okay, good pick. Good pick. He needs a pretty good finish to really have any kind of shot at having a good finish on the season as far as points go. So got him in that 2 spot. It's pretty good. All right. Number 2's pick. I'm ready. You guys tell me. Who do I have?
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
I mean, I can see you having that. I'm going to go ahead and go with Galusha here.
All right. My number 2 pick belongs to Paul Fly. I'm putting Paul Fly here in the number 2 spot. He's been solid all season long. Needs another good finish. He's sitting good in points. I don't want to say any more without giving away my number 1 pick. So we'll just leave that at what I just said with Paul Fly. And we'll go on to the number 1 pick for Chris. Chris, do you have the right pick here in the number 1 spot? Patrick, who does he have?
Well, he doesn't want to bet against himself. He's going to put Kyle Wellman here.
I mean, Patrick is right. I mean, I've got Kyle Wellman in that spot, and I think he'll lead the most laps, and I think he'll be another first-time winner on the season.
All right, Kyle Wellman. So, interesting to see this, how you play this out, Chris. You had Kyle Wellman winning. I would imagine you're thinking that Brandon Surratt will be pushing Kyle Wellman, and Johnny Evans would have his teammates behind him probably sitting 4th, 5th, so on. Was that your thought process?
I wasn't even thinking about pushing.
How do you not think about pushing at a restrictor?
Well, I mean, and I know I'm going to guess you're number 1, and I'm going to be right because of the comment you made at 3. But I wasn't even thinking about that at the time because you know what? When it gets down to the last 2 laps, you have no friends anyway. You just go most of the time.
Hey, John, how are you?
Yep,
Happy New Year, everyone.
True. All right. Moving on. Patrick, leading in the points right now.
Oh, good. Happy New Year to you, too.
Looking to take a championship one way or another. May not be on the track, but it may be here.
Maybe in the booth.
Maybe in the booth here. Chris?
Maybe that's where I belong from here on out, right?
I mean, that's why I started doing it, because I suck on dirt anymore. All right, Chris, who does he have here in the number 1 spot?
He wasn't going to take Kyle Wellman. He was just going to stay out of that one. He took it because of us. I don't know if he really has him there. I don't believe that he has Galusha from the comment he made already. That's tough. All right, Trevor Catalano.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Evans' teammate, right? They're going to be tough. So I went Kyle Wellman. And the reason I did, I think the Rat Bastards are going to be pushing each other and they're going to be hard to beat. But I think Kyle Wellman's going to be so determined he's going to get himself up there and pull this one out.
Interesting. Kyle Wellman now hits the board twice in the leaders board to win. He's been due. He's been due for a long time now. Second in the points. Probably one that he feels like he needs to make it happen if he's going to make some kind of move on Nick Galusha, because the odds of Nick Galusha making any kind of mistake right now has been slim to none. So he's got to get himself in the win column. And like Chris said, he needs to lead the most laps so he can get those bonus points. All right, guys, who do I have here in my number 1 spot?
Well, I don't know if he's technically a teammate to Derek, but he does sit in the same Discord channel. So I think you're going to say that Kyle Wellman's going to get pushed to the win by Derek Rothling.
Okay.
I mean, I can't believe all three of us are taking Kyle Wellman to win this race when he's never even won yet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, call us stupid, I guess. But, I mean, I already know Ryan's taking Kyle Wellman. Derek and Kyle work very well together. They are in the garage a lot together. But, yep, we are not teammates, as of now anyway. But, yes, I think Ryan has Derek pushing Kyle Wellman to the finish.
So I believe that Derek Roffling is going to push somebody in that garage to the win. And that person, man, I just have to push that button and tell you that it's Chris Miller underneath it.
I'd love to see that.
Wish.
I really would.
I wish.
You want me to flip that card over and show you it's going to be Chris Miller? I mean, it's a good day. It's the national championship was on Monday, and we all know, freaking Michigan. All right, there it is. Kyle Wellman. I'm kidding. It's just Kyle Wellman. Kyle Wellman is going to get the win. Hey, a clean sweep again up there on top of the leaderboard. So I think we all feel the same way. We feel like Kyle really wants this one, and he could potentially get it and really set himself up with 3 races to go after this one if he could potentially do it. So there you go.
It's a tough track to do it, though.
I mean,
Go ahead, Chris.
You're right, and that's the thing. He's not going to have any friends. The guy don't have any friends out there except for our teammates within Miller Time.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's the bad thing. That's the really bad thing there, because if Miller Time's not up there, where does Kyle Wellman finish? Because he won't have any friends, because he don't have very many out on the track. So, interesting to see.
I still think he finishes top 5. Like, if he doesn't have any pushing help at the end there in the last couple laps, and the I'll say this, and the Rat Bastards are still up there connected. Yeah, he finishes in the top 5. But if we can break them up as a collective, racers out there, we can break the Rat Bastards up. Hard to do, but if we can do that, then yeah, he has a really, really good shot at pulling it off.
Yeah, and I think a lot of drivers know that they need to break up that team because it is a bigger team, and if they can get in between them, you don't want that team up there at the end. Every driver that's not on that team knows that. Like, you can't have 4 drivers up there that's just going to be able to push, and then you're stuck out there. It's just not going to work out well for you. So you got to divide that team up. All right, guys, it is countdown to green session is over, and it's time to go racing at Atlanta for 75 laps. Restrictor plate racing. It's going to be fun. We'll see.
Hopefully green flag. Yep. See you guys on the track.
Rookie or veteran, no matter how long you've been coming to this event, there are butterflies. There have to be.
The biggest race of your career, one of the biggest races in the world. I guarantee you there's a lot of butterflies.
The white flag in the Daytona 500. It's time to get busy. Horrific crash on the final lap of the Daytona 500.
Second time, the Daytona 500 goes to Jimmy Johnson.
I don't mind you to win the 500.
Kurt Busch wins the Daytona 500.
Are you kidding me?
Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500 and wins it. Coach Gibbs.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Tarmac Truck Series. We're at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be a fun one. 75 laps around here. It's restrictor plate racing at its finest. And our last restrictor plate of the season. This is only 4 races remain, and it's only getting started as the championship closes in on Nick Galusha, who has been fairly dominant this season and is looking to capture a first Truck Series championship in the Tarmac Series. Welcome in. I am your host, Ryan Griffith, and I'll have your call all day here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's a great day for racing. It's been a while since we've seen you all, as there was the Christmas holiday. But I can tell you, Johnny Evans was our last winner at Richmond and our first repeat winner of the season. We seen before that 7 different racers before we seen that repeat winner, and that being of Johnny Evans. Atlanta, it could be anybody's race to be had. Restrictor plate, it seems like some of the weirdest winners win sometimes at these races, and who could that possibly be? We talked in the Countdown to Green session about, who could potentially win this race and what all could happen here at this race. And there's a lot that could happen, and there's a lot of betting odds out there for this race. And you look there at the cautions. Where do we see the cautions fall here at Atlanta? Well, the line is sitting at 4.5. Will we see more than that, less than that? We could say at Richmond, we definitely seen more than that, as more than half of the race was under caution. Don't think we'll see quite what we've seen there at Richmond. I imagine the drivers will want to clean that up after showing their outing there at Richmond. And then there, your lap leaders. Who's going to lead the most laps here? It's still anybody's race to be had there on the laps led here at a race like this. I mean, you got 6 drivers there that has led a lot of laps on the season, but these 6 drivers may not even be up there. It could be someone entirely different up front, and we're about to find out momentarily. And then you look at the lead change, the odds, the betting odds. The line is at 15.5, and you see the odds there on those. So be interesting to see where some of these drivers fall throughout this race. You can see here's qualifying, and qualifying's underway currently right now, and we still got some time left for guys to put down a quicker lap. But Kyle Wellman is sitting on top with the fastest time out there. And then Ryan Palmer, that actually led most of the race at Richmond, he is in that second position right now. Zach Dykstra, he's in 5th in the points, and now he's sitting with a qualifying time, sitting 3rd quick right now. Nick Galusha is in that 4th position. He is your current leader in the points and looking to be crowned champion at the end of this season. All right, so we've got just about a minute before we get these cars underway, and so now's a great time to take a look at the track facts here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is about a 1.5 mile raceway. Your corners at 28 degrees on the front and back stretch, both 5 degrees of banking. The length of this track on the front stretch, you got about 2,300 feet, and on the back stretch, 1,800. Your width, all the way around, about the same, 40 feet. So I don't think we'll see very much 3-wide racing. If it does happen, it's going to be late in this race, because it's very, very hard to do some 3-wide racing. But we'll definitely see some 2-wide racing all the way around this place. And then you take a look at the race facts by Bell IT Solutions. Your race length is 75 laps. Your mileage is 115 miles. Pit road speed at 45. And that pit window, very crucial pit window, at 37 to 40 laps. All right. Qualifying is over. It's officially over, and Kyle Wellman is going to be your pole setter here at Atlanta Speedway. And so here we go. We're going to get your grid lined up. There it is, Kyle Wellman. He is your pole setter in the 42 machine. So he's sitting on pole. On the outside of him is going to be Ryan Palmer. Zach Dykstra is going to be 3rd. 4th will be Nick Galusha. 5th, John Ott. 6th, Daniel Quigley. 7th will be Derek Roffling. 8th will be the 14 of Johnny Evans if he's able to grid up. Right now, not being able to grid. Paul Negus will be in the 9th spot if he grids, and he is on the grid. Brandon Stewart will start in the 11th. 12th will be Sam Reed. 13th will be Paul Fly. 13th will be Paul Fly. 14th will be Stephen Polacek. 15th will be Bobby Smith. 16th will be Harold Ralph. 17th will be Brandon Voiles. 18th will be Trevor Catalano. 19th will be Jeff Herman. Yusfer, he'll be there in the 20th position. Greg Clark will be there in the 21st position. 22nd will be Chris Miller. Steve Miller will be 23rd. And rounding out the field in the very last starting position will be the 24 of Patrick Day. That is your lineup. There's 24 cars, and Patrick Day's choosing to take that 24th position. Maybe a little luck wanting to be on his side as we're getting you set to go green flag racing after the holiday break. 75 laps around here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Who is everyone picking out there in the Facebook world and the YouTube world out there that's live watching in? Who is your pick today to win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for 75 laps? Kyle Wellman sits second in the points. He really needs a win. He really needs to lead the most laps, get some extra bonus points. We're getting set to the green flag here at the 1.5 mile Atlanta. iRacing pace car is dipped off the speedway. Kyle Wellman will have this green flag in the air here soon. We're gonna go green flag racing. Green flag is in the air. Ryan Palmer with a really good push with his teammate Nick Galusha on the top side. He'll take over the command early in this, but a good push on the bottom side. Here comes Kyle Wellman back to the inside. Ryan Palmer up front, right there with Nick Galusha following straight in behind. They're looking to lead the first lap of the race. As Nick Galusha is right behind him. See Nick Galusha, Ryan Palmer, and then Kyle Wellman. They run 1, 2, 3 right there. Wellman now looks to the outside. He's got Daniel Quigley there on the outside to try to come to this back bumper and try to give him a push. Nick Galusha really pushing hard on Ryan Palmer. Nick Galusha would like to get out there and lead some laps as well today and pick up some extra bonus points to maybe even secure that championship even more. But it's been Ryan Palmer out front for the first 2 laps. Both side-by-side racing from 3rd on back through the pack. Nick Galusha now goes to the outside. Now he's got the 42 on his back bumper, and the 42 is going to have to push on Nick Galusha here. And Nick Galusha is looking to lead a lap here and give him an extra bonus point towards the championship. Nick Galusha with 1 extra point and another lead change on the day. Ryan Palmer on the inside there in a 10 car. He has Zach Dykstra there on the inside. Dykstra runs in the 5th position in points right now, and he's been doing very well, and Kyle Wellman tries to cut down to the bottom side of the raceway, and he did not see Ryan Palmer down there. And that causes a little bit of ruckus on back into the pack, and we've got our first caution flag of the day. Caution flag number 1 is out on the speedway. Couple things that happened there. You see Daniel Quigley also involved. Here's a replay and get some better looks. Quigley goes around. And we'll try to get yourself a little better view of that. See the 42 right in front. Here he is. Thought he had the run and just didn't have it there. Was going right in front of the 10 car. And several cars involved early in this one. John Ott also involved. So unfortunate for Ryan Palmer there. Taking a little look at that with that was Ryan on board with Ryan Palmer there just before it happened. They were coming down the exit of 2, and you had on the outside run there, you had Kyle Wellman. He thought that he had room, and it just closed up very, very quickly and wasn't able to get it there. So first caution flag of the day. Kyle Wellman was going after it there, and Kyle Wellman decided, I mean, he was able to gather that thing up after sliding it down through there. It does look like he may have a little bit of damage there on the front. You can see it there. No. Okay, it looks like he has gotten that thing pretty much repaired up. Or he did not go in. I'm sorry, he did not pit there. So, it does look like maybe just the tires. Be about the only thing that you have to kind of worry about there, I believe. We'll double check there as we was watching the replays, make sure that they did not hit pit road. It does not look like it. It's Jeff Herman. He went into pits. It's Paul Fly, Trevor Catalano, Stephen Polacek, Grant Clark, Patrick Day, Chris Miller, Steve Miller, John Ott, Daniel Quigley. Those are some of the drivers that did go in for repairs. But the 42 decided to stay out, and he'll use the draft to his advantage here. Tires a little scratched up a little bit there, but we're okay, all good. We'll re-rack them and restack them to go green flag once again. That's the first caution flag of the day. Remember that line was at 4.5? Well, let's see how much closer we get there to that 4.5 mark. Looking for the green flag here out of turns 4 with Nick Galusha. Galusha's on the throttle. Nick Galusha jumps out to the early lead. You got a car that's going down to the inside apron. That's Brandon Boyles. He gathers it back up and gets back up onto the track. Good save by Boyles there. About lost it. Back up front. Still got Nick Galusha leading with his teammate Johnny Evans. He is pushing. Then you got Zach Dykstra there in the third. And we talked about it in the countdown to green. The 42. No friends really out there. And now a car goes to the outside. Paul Negus. Timothy Lewis down on the inside. Bobby Smith going to be the driver that maybe pokes his nose out there to maybe give help to the 42, but it's not happening yet. Nick Galusha still up front leading this. So remember we talked in the countdown for the betting card as far as lead changes, where would that stack up? And right now, it's looking like we're having very little lead changes at the moment, but that can change very, very, very quickly in a race like this. Sam Reed now to the outside, and he is one in the 55 that may get onto the back bumper of that 42 and try to help him out. Brandon Surratt now looking to the outside of Paul Negus, or I'm sorry, Bobby Smith. Maybe he'll come up there and try to help him. Now the 14 is going to get a push by the 42. The 42 gets real loose there with a push from the 42 machine. Zach Dykstra's going to try to push the 20 car of Galusha. Really close racing there on the exit of 2 there with Kyle Wellman right down to the bottom, doing some side drafting with the 18. 42's trying to push really hard on that 14 to try to make him clear Nick Galusha. Not able to do it yet. I imagine, if anything, that 42 is eager to win a race, and if he has to put the 14 on the outside and put a run in the middle, he will do so. Has some good racing up front. This is about, probably about 15 cars, about more than half of the cars up here in the front pack, and then you have a back pack back there. It's all strung out, single file, buying their time right now. See that 42 really pushing hard on the 14 machine. You have Sam Reed, it's right to the back bumper of the 42, and then Brandon Surratt. Would lead that lap again. So last 3 laps, Johnny Evans has been the leader. Evans now going to try to drop in front of his teammate. Yes, he will. Evans comes back up to the outside to grab the draft from the 42, and the 42 is going to push him again. So you got Nick Galusha, you got Kyle Wellman, and you got Zach Dykstra. Those cars are inside the top 5 in points, and here comes the 42. I thought he was going to put his nose to the outside and try to take it 3 wide, but he didn't. The opportunity was there, but the question is, who would go with him if he did do that? Got to figure out who is the friends with Kyle Wellman today. Still yet, we have not seen Kyle Wellman lead a lap, and he really needs that to really make any kind of grounds on Nick Galusha. Galusha already picked up a bonus point today, leading. Best lap in the race, Ryan Palmer has the best lap in the race. And here we go, look out. We got contact with the 42. Nick Galusha holds on to it. Now there's a wreck behind him. That's Paul Negus and Sam Reed, and the caution flag will wave out on the speedway. Things are going to get heated. The 42 and the 20, they make contact. Those are your top 2 in the points right now. 42 is just getting impatient with that Johnny Evans holding that outside lane, and those are 2 teammates up there, and I tell you what, that 42 is having enough of it, so things are going to get wild here, I do believe. Our second caution flag of the day flies out here on lap 19. On lap 19. go try to go rewind this back for you guys so you can take a look at what happened behind him after everything stacks up. It's Bobby Smith. He goes to the middle. There's just 3 wide up and through here, and there's no room for anybody. Bobby Smith almost made it through, then Boyles gets a lick to the outside. Let's go back and let's take a look at the Kyle Wellman here. Here you go. Here's your Kyle Wellman. Opens up the door. He sees it. It's like, I'm going to the middle. He didn't realize the 20 was that high. And they make contact. Somehow they save it. But then on behind, they didn't save it behind them. As caution flag flies out in the speedway. We do have some takers into pit road. Johnny Evans, Nick Galusha, Zach Dykstra, Brandon Surratt, Timmy Lewis, Yusufer out here in the 16th position. Jeff Herman. Kyle Wellman into the pits right now, and look like he's going to get some of that repair work done on that car. He'll come back out in the 16th position. See if we can get a hold of Nick Galusha here. See how Nick Galusha is doing here. Nick, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Nick, it's been some exciting racing out there. It's restrictor plate at its finest there. Close call there in this last caution flag. Take us through your mindset as that went down.
Yeah, not sure if I pinched him up or if he came down on me, but we just made a little contact. I thought I was going to loop it there. Unfortunately, when I went down pit road, I did use my fast repair, so I got to be careful here for the rest of the race.
Interesting. Yes, it looked like Johnny Evans got up a little bit, and well, Kyle Wellman was seeing a hole there, and he was going to try to put it 3 wide, and that was what caused it. Good luck to you the rest of the race.
Thank you.
All right, we're set to go green flag once again here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're 21 laps in of the 75-lap race. We are at 2 cautions in this race, closing in on that line of 4.5 caution flags. So will we hit it? We've got 2, and then we're on the bubble. It's looking like every about 10 laps right now is the average. Ready to go green flag here. Nick Galusha there comes into the 2nd position right behind Johnny Evans, but unfortunate for him, he did use his fast repair, so if he gets in an accident, he's in some big-time trouble in this race. Right now they run 1-2 right now, teammates, and then Zach Dykstra running a very good race, running in the 3rd position, quietly sitting there in striking distance in the 18. Timmy Lewis, another teammate of the 2 in front, so man, this team is very strong. They seem to always be running up there. He runs 4th. 5th runs Brandon Surratt. Surratt having a really good race here. He's up into the 5th position. He's up 6 spots from the start of this race. Jeff Herman, another great race for him. Every time we talk about him in the countdown to green session, he's a clean driver, and he always finds himself slowly chipping away at the points lead. So here we go. Jeff Herman, he's up 13 spots in this race. Kept it clean. He's in the 6th spot right now. Yusufer, he's in a good position there in the 93, the McDonald's Toyota. in that 7th position. He's moved up 13 spots in this race as well. Nick Galusha to the front with Timmy Lewis trying to push him there. Nick Galusha will lead that lap, and so we got another lead change up front with Nick Galusha taking over the top spot again. Still have not seen that 18 machine lead any this season. Will that 18 be able to get up to the lead? Be able to lead some laps here at Atlanta. Say most people in the Countdown to Green session probably feels that this may be his best opportunity to lead a lap in the series. He's been doing well, but he's just not one of those guys that you normally see running up inside the top 5 consistently. He's had really solid finishes inside the top 10. He's still yet to lead a lap on the series. Brandon Surratt now to the bottom side, and he's going to hook up with Zach Dykstra. Those are 2 dirt drivers at one point in time. I know Surratt does a little more asphalt driving now, but those 2 knows how to get it done on the dirt. And keep an eye on those 2. Will they hook up late in this race? Yusufer up into the top 5. Now going to go to the top side at 93. Toyota McDonald's truck up there, right behind Timmy Lewis. Nick Galusha has been strong all season long, leads the points, really can have a bad race if he needed to, and still be okay. Some good clean racing going on right now, 28 laps in of the 75 lap race. So even though everyone stopped, we do still have one more pit stop to go. And that would come with, if you stretched it out, maybe about 15 laps to go, is when everyone would need to stop if we don't see a caution before then. Outside lane seems to be doing very, very well right now. You got Yusufer there on the outside, the 93, and then his teammate, Steven Polacek. Those 2 teammates hooked up in this race, and not ones that we normally see up inside the top 10. And here they are. Them 2 are running 1-2 and their teammates. Timmy Lewis now looks to the inside, and he'll just barely get around the front nose of the 14 car. That's exactly what Kyle Wellman tried to do, wasn't able to do it. Timmy Lewis to the outside, and oh no, the 14. Oh wow, what a save by the 14 of Johnny Evans. Got up to the outside. Oh, and he comes back up onto the track, then hits the 18, and he goes around by himself. Caution flag is flying out on the speedway for a single car turn where he tried to get back up onto the track, and he just did it unsafely. As we get a caution flag, that's our 3rd caution of the day. And that one flies on lap 31. So it seems like about every 10 laps we're starting to see a caution flag. All right, since we're under caution, let's take a break. Let's take a breather, and let's come back ready to go.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Oh, that's a problem.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go.
Oh, no.
Be aggressive, Henry.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it.
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
All right, race fans, welcome back to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series, and we're under our third caution flag of the day. Johnny Evans tried to save it, tried to get back aboard the track safely, wasn't able to do it. Single car spin by him. Unfortunate for him, he was doing very well in this race, and now he'll restart one back into the pack. Timmy Lewis has taken over the command of this race, and we're getting you set to go green flag once again. 33 laps in of the 75-lap race. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, now's a great opportunity while we're under caution to go ahead and help us out. Help us out. This broadcast is entirely free, and we are delivering it to you right here live on YouTube. Entirely free from our end. We don't charge the drivers a dime for it. We ask you to help us out. Even $1 or $2. Really appreciate the donation. If you are enjoying the broadcast, please donate today. All right. Line them up, double file. We're going to try to redo this one again, another restart. So we're closing in on that betting line of the caution flags at a 4.5. We're at 3 right now. I imagine we're going to go over that. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. It'll be on the command of Timmy Lewis. He is your race leader on the inside there. Nick Galusha on his outside. Those two are teammates. That second row, Stephen Polacek and Josifer, they are teammates as well. So they're looking to make a splash here at Atlanta. It hasn't been the season that they hoped for. And they're running second and third. Zach Dykstra runs in the 5th position. He's 5th in points right now. He's got a little help behind him by Brandon Surratt. So we'll see if Brandon Surratt able to help out the 18 machine. Kyle Wellman on back up in here inside the top 10. He's running in the 7th position. Can he get up front and lead a couple laps? We've got the green flag waving in the air at Atlanta. That outside lane did not go. Stephen Polacek may have been in the wrong gear there. As things back up behind there, 3 cars just take away from the front of the field. Timothy Lewis, Nick Galusha, and Yusufer. You see there the 92. He just did not get going, and he restarted 4th. He's cleared back into the 8th and 9th position now. That's next single file lane other than the leaders up there, and as they start to close back up to them, is Zach Dykstra, the 18, and here comes the 42 on the outside of Brandon Surratt. Kyle Wellman wanting back up front. He wants to lead a lap. Nick Galusha now peeks to the outside. He'll pitch to the outside of try to have the 42 pushing. 42 looking to go to the outside. He says, screw this. I am not going with Galusha. And here comes the 42 to the outside, and here we go. We got Derek Roffling in the 88 machine. We called this one out in the countdown to green. The 88's got a good pusher. He's a good pusher on the outside. He's going to try to push the 42. It's 3 wide in this race early in. How long will this one last? You got Nick Galusha in the middle. Nick Galusha, you talk to him in the under caution. He cannot afford to get in an accident. He does not have a fast repair. If he wrecks, he's done for in this race. It's going to still be 3 wide here. Derek Roffling, he is trying to push the 42, but he does not have anybody else with him right now. They need about 3 cars up there. Not able to do it right now. Kyle Wellman up front. Kyle Wellman onto the top side. Timmy Lewis onto the bottom side. And right sandwiched in the middle is the 20 car. P&J. It's a peanut butter jelly sandwich time. And Kyle Wellman's having fun with it on the outside right now. Kyle Wellman has a teammate pusher. Paul Fly starting to come into the picture there. You see him, he's the 94. He's going to try to get under Yusufer here to try to help out his teammates up there that is running side by side right now, Nick Galusha and Timmy Lewis. What a move by the 42. Gets down to the bottom side. He is able to clear him. 42 to the front of the field. That was a power move by the 42. Had Roffling there on the outside. We see 3 wide there as they race for position, and now the 42 has gotten to the front and looking to lead some laps. Timmy Lewis now going to look to the outside of Kyle Wellman there at the line. Wellman has led a lap now, got some bonus points that he needed. Oh, now you see teammates going to start to prevail here. 41 and the 20 linked up. Now you see the 94. That's another teammate. That's 3 teammates right there working together on the outside. They talked, did the count down the green, and a driver, Patrick Day, said, we've got to break that team up if we're going to have any chance at winning this. Now you see 3 cars up there, and it's a no match for the 42. 42 starts to drop back as he has nobody behind him. That's a good pusher at the moment. Timothy Lewis now drops to the inside. Nick Galusha to the top side. They're going to box in the 42. The 42 is boxed in, nowhere to go right now. That team may have strategically done that on purpose. Yusufer goes to the top side to try to work with the 94 machine. Derek Roffling now coming back to the back bumper of the 42. They'll try to hook back up and try to make another run to the front. While all this is going on, you got Sam Reed to start to come into the picture. Bobby Smith is coming into the picture. Zach Dykstra back into the 10th position now. He starts to hook up with his teammate of Brandon Boyles. 42 laps in of 75-lap race, and things are going to continue to heat up as we get closer and closer to the end of this race. Got Roffling right behind the 42. That's the 2 we anticipated would hook up, and then we knew the Rat Bastards would be right up there hooked up together. Question is, who else is going to go with the 42 and the 88 machine? See it right now. The Chevys are kind of dominating right now. Top 4 cars. Inside the top 5, there's 4 Chevys and a Toyota. So some good side-by-side racing from the leader on back through the pack with Timmy Lewis, Nick Galusha kind of controlling the race right now. Kyle Wellman still looking for a run on the 41 machine. He's pushing the 41 as hard as he possibly can to try to clear the 20. 20 laps remain in this one. Brandon Voiles, his teammate of Zach Dykstra, they're a little bit apart, but they're close with each other. They run 9th and 13th right now, and that's Hodel Racing. Brandon Surt, another Miller Time Motorsports driver. He runs currently in the 10th position. He would like to get up there with Derek Roffling. Roffling, a Miller Time Motorsports driver. Look, it's calmed down a little bit. I guess you would say. I mean, it's side-by-side racing all the way on back through the race, but it feels like it's calmed down a little bit. But as I say that, Steven Polacek gets up into the wall. He gets back off of it. No contact with any cars behind. We're still green flag. You see there, 42 back to the front. As soon as I said things are going to calm down, they decide, no, we're not going to calm down. We're going to continue to race hard as we're closing in on 15 laps to go. 42 is now to the front with the 88 pushing. Then you got Bobby Smith right behind them. Bobby Smith gets really loose, goes clear down to the apron. About loses control of that car, and he does now, and there goes the 18 and the 11 car. They stack up on back in there. 18 car goes around. He was in the 5th position. Caution flag waves. That was Bobby Smith, the junior, that caused the ruckus there as he got loose, tried to save it, came back up on the track, got loose again, and then everything just stacked up from there. Here's a look at it. Sorry. That was not a look at it. Let's go. Let's go back. Let's get our camera crews on the right direction here. And we'll get you what this looks like here in just a second, maybe. If we can. Give it a shot at least. There's the 42 gets loose, then boom, right up into the outside wall. Brandon Surt goes around, Ryan Palmer. 18 kind of holds some kind of momentum through there. As everyone went in for pits on this one. Everyone but the cars that you're seeing out there. Paul Negus stays out onto the track. He scored in the 4th position. Jeff Herman stays out. He's in the 3rd. 2nd is Zach Dykstra and Bobby Smith. Bobby Smith actually takes over the race lead after actually being the one that started that. But everybody else pits. They all stay out, trying to get some track position here, as they believe there may be another caution later on in this race. All right, let's step away for about 30 seconds, and we'll be right back.
In a world where being at your peak is everything, one gas station dares to fuel more than just your car. This summer, don't just fill your gas tank, fuel your peak potential.
Hi, Cheryl. What got into you?
Download the Sunoco app today. Fuel up, save up, and fuel your best.
All right, welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. 50 laps in of a 75 laps of the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. Now you see who takes over the race lead and race command to grab them some extra bonus points. Jeff Herman now out front and leading this in the 87 machine. Have not seen that guy lead in a single lap in this series, and now the 88 machine, give the guy some love. The Carhartt 87 truck there, he is leading this race. Jeff Herman stays out to try to get some track position and lead this race. He's been running a really good race inside the top 10 all race long. He's got Kyle Wellman on his outside. See what happens here as Herman getting himself some bonus points in this series, trying to crack the top 10 in points. We are now under our 4th caution flag of the day, and our next caution flag will break that over-under as we've got 14 laps to go. Will we go caution-free? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think the line was the over. It's looking pretty good. They may shock me. They may shock me. They may put on a battle and make it to the end, but we'll see. Looking for green flag here out of turn 4 into the tri-oval in the Geico restart zone. The 87 is on the throttle, and Again, first laps led in the series for that 87 machine. Jeff Herman out leading the race, and the 20 jumps to the outside to try to get a push on the outside of the 87. 87 just got such a big run there that the rest of them just got a run on him. And will Paul Fly be able to push the 87? Not able to do so. The 87 does lead a lap there, Jeff Herman, after not pitting. Now to the inside, Paul Fly, and they're going to put him 3 wide. Herman stuck in the middle. Herman with no real friends up here. You got Rat Bastards up here. You got Kyle Wellman. I mean, you got some good guys that's up here. And if you don't have some race friends in this race, it makes it really, really hard. And right now, you've got Kyle Wellman that's in a swarm of the Rat Bastards right now. Nick Galusha leads currently right now. Looking to lead the most laps, too, here. Paul Fly looks to the outside of the 94. Last time we've seen the 42 able to do it and go to the outside, he had help by Derek Roffling. Roffling currently runs in the 12th position, and there's the caution flag. Car's up into the wall. We knew it. We knew we wasn't going to be able to see it through. Get another caution out on the speedway. Here's what happened. 42 goes down to the inside. Let's back that up. Let's back the tape up a little bit and see just what happened there. 42. I'm not real sure if he just lost the handle on that thing, but the 42 just went right down into Ryan Palmer. And yeah, he just lost it. Around goes the 42. As we're back under caution again, and we have met 5 caution laps. So we have beaten that caution line. With Nick Galusha leading this race, I tell you what, Patrick Day was 100% right on this, trying to split up the teams up there. It just doesn't seem like that is the case for most of these drivers. They're just not doing that. They're content with it. I'm going to hope that this is the 93 of Yusufer, and we'll try to summons him. Yusufer, you got a copy?
Hey, yeah.
Hey, looking like you're doing pretty well up inside the top 5. What's your thoughts running up here? We haven't seen a whole lot of you running up front this season. What's it feel like?
Feels like I'm getting pretty lucky. I'm just happy to do this here in Atlanta because this is my home track.
All right, that 93 McDonald's truck there looking pretty good. Maybe you can go after the win here. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
93, might as well give him some talks over the loud speaker. Give him the floor. We'll take a look at Paul Fly here. Hey, Paul, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Paul, looking pretty good in this race, sitting inside the top 5. Got some teammates that's been up there quite a bit. When it comes down to it, is teammates going to continue to just push with teammates and whoever's in the lead is going to lead it, or are we going after it?
Well, I can tell you, I mean, I know Nick's in first in points, so he might be the one I don't work with at the end because that's the only way I'm going to get points on him or have any shot at the championship. So we'll see what happens. It's been a very interesting race so far, and hopefully we can just kind of keep her out front and clean the rest of the way and battle it out amongst everybody, see what happens.
It's going to be fun. Put on a show for us.
Will do.
It's the 94 of Paul Fly there on the outside of his teammate Nick Galusha, and he said, nope. Not going to work with my buddy. My teammate, I know he's teammates, but if I got any shot at winning a championship, I cannot work with him today. Okay, interesting. So the other question is Johnny Evans. Where does he play out in this? He has missed the first half of the season, really, due to other obligations. But where will his heart lie? Will he have the 20s back, or will he have the 94s back, or will he be on his own? We'll find out here in the closing laps of this race. Lap 57 of 75. We're about to go. Green flag once again. All right, looking for the green, and it is imminent, and it is thrown into the air for Nick Galusha. Fly does dip down to the inside, single cars, one up front, and opens up the door for use for there on the outside. He's up 16 spots in this race in that 93 McDonald's Toyota. 14 goes to the outside to maybe block a run for the 93 or use his run to help push to the lead. Brandon Voiles up here in the top 5 now, so you see him, he's doing well. Derek Rothling back up inside the top 10. Harold Ralph, we've seen him up inside every once in a while inside the top 10. Chris Miller now inside the top 10 in that 69 machines. Restrictor plate is his strong suit. He's won a couple of those. So the 69 of Chris Miller has now cracked inside the top 10. I thought Paul Fly was maybe looking to the inside of Nick Galusha there. Didn't do it yet. Again, I remember them speaking that they are roommates. And not only roommates, but teammates. And I can only imagine what that conversation's going on in that house. Like, hey, dude, I could win a championship. Push me to the championship. Hey, I'll pay you some money. I'll give you money if you allow that to happen. But tell you what, these guys, they love to race, and oh my goodness, as I say that, caution flag waves out. No, caution's not out. Caution flag's not out. Will it come out? Somehow, the caution flag has not waved out on the speedway yet, and I imagine it's going to at one point in time. They'll wait for the admins to be able to throw that as, wow, the 3 teammates take each other out. And Yusufer takes over the race lead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Nick Galusha hits trouble. I imagine there's some fist fights going on inside that house. They are not happy with each other as teammates wreck each other. There's 3 of them up there. And they all go around. We may see a brand new winner in this race. It's very likely. As when we get restarted, we'll have 10 to go. Yusufer's up here. Brandon Voiles never won. Brandon Surratt has never won. These top 3 have never won a race in the Truck Series. Looking good. Timmy Lewis has. He's there. Sam Reed has not. And then on back is Nick Galusha. I don't think he had any contact. We talked that he cannot afford to get in a wreck because he did not have any more fast repairs. I think he survived most of that calamity. As that was wild. That was wild. Let's take a look at it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. One more look. Let's take another look at that. Just barely clips. The 14 just barely clips the 20. And wow, 20 holds on to that very, very well. Oh, man. He does save it. The 20 does. That's some great driving to save that and not cause any damage to that truck. Wow. That's if I can get it here, I would really like to get an in-car cam there of Johnny Evans. Right there. Just that little clip. Just a little clip. Wow. Let's see if we can here. Maybe not. Wow. Brandon Voiles on the outside of that front row, having a chance here at this thing. A 93 there on the inside leads this race. I believe that's his first laps led in this race as well. Or not just this race, this series. 93 looking really good. Brandon Voiles. Brandon Surratt. All right. We're going to have 10 to go. We come back around. Oh, man. Nick Galusha is going to restart 5th here. He did save it. He does have a teammate of the 41 of Timmy Lewis. We may see a new winner here. We could potentially see that. That inside row, 3 back, actually more than 3 back, 4 back, has never won in this series. The outside row and the front row, he's never won. That's Voiles. 2 cars behind him has. And then you got Patrick Day that has not won yet this season, but he knows how to get it in victory lane, and he is really looking for that victory lane. Here we go. It's on the command of the 93 in a Geico restart zone, and he is on the throttle. And he gets one heck of a jump on the entire field. You may want to watch out for that, as they will gather some momentum and steamroll you. We've seen that early in. Brandon Surratt there in the 11 machine. He's going to try to go after the race lead here. He's going to have some big-time momentum as they close to the back bumper of your race leader. What will the 11 do? Will he just stay right there? He does. Here comes the 41 on the outside. They're locked bumpers. That's the 41 and the 20. They're pushing hard, and they're coming to the front. That's why that team is so good. They are just locked to the bumper, and here they are back to the front within 1 lap. Just like that, the 41 takes over the race lead, and here comes Paul Fly in the 94. So what looked like a situation that could have been devastating for that team, well, they're right back up in front, just like that. Patrick Day up into the outside wall. He's slow as he collects the outside wall. Coming towards the end of this thing, who's going to do what here? You got Timmy Lewis leading, you got Nick Galusha there in second. Paul Fly now looks to the outside of his teammate, not able to do so. Now Voiles up into the outside wall. Some of these guys may be wearing those right fronts out, and there's a caution. There's another caution. John Ott into the wall. He got turned by Voiles. They went 3 wide there on the exit of 4. It never works out very well, as we do have another caution, and we're gonna restack them and re-rack them for another restart. I'll rewind this tape for you to see just what happened there. It was off of 4. You see Voiles up into the wall. That opens up the door for everyone to go to the inside, and around they go. Maybe a little net code as well. All right, so it's interesting where your top 3 lies. You know, we've talked to Paul. We know what his theory is. We got to talk to Timmy Lewis, which I can never know which one Timmy is. Inside the Discord, there's 2 of them that's looking the same. And Timmy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Timmy, we talked to Paul Fly earlier about this race, and if so happens Nick is in front of you at the end of this race, do you allow that to happen, or do you say, no, you're leading in the points, I would like a win?
we had a little talk about it, and he thinks that, you know, if nothing happens and we're good, he's gonna give it to me. So, but we'll see.
Okay.
I always like to try, and I always like the competition. So if he gets a run, I'm not gonna take him out or slow him down. I'll let him run on the outside of me.
Okay, and if the 94 gets up there, are you going to help him out over Nick Galusha?
I'll help Paul too, but I'll race him a little harder. He always races me hard, so I'll race him hard.
All right, it should be interesting. Hey, put on a show for you. It's been fun.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Interesting. Interesting there. Let's see who else we have got to talk to. We don't have a whole lot to choose from as far as inside the Discord here. We do have Kyle Wellman. Let's see if we can dial him up. It's been an up and down race. Kyle Wellman, get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Wellman, it's been an up and down race for you here. Closing into the final laps of this race. Inside the top 10, what do you got for him?
I don't think I got anything. Rat bastards are making it impossible to pass, you know.
Yeah,
they're only doing about 80% instead of 100%, and there's just no way to beat that. So, I mean, just get as much track position we can and hope for some points.
We talked in the Countdown to Green session, and Patrick Day said it very well, that they have to divide that team up. All the truck drivers out there have to do that. And it doesn't seem like anyone's getting that message.
I've been able to do it by myself, but then they just throw dirty blocks, and, you know, I chopped Ryan's nose early and apologized for that, and I still got met with attitude, and then got loose at it too and got into them and apologized for that too and got even more attitude, calling me out in the broadcast. So the friendly truce that we had and set in place for the last couple weeks is gone now. They want to race that way, I'm racing right back. It's over now.
Gloves are off. It's exciting. Good luck to you.
Yep.
We always love talking to Kyle Wellman because he's brutally honest with his comments, and there you have it. Gloves are off. He's done being nice. Let's hold on to our seats and see what happens here with that 42. That may be why he doesn't have a whole lot of friends out here and to help him, but he does have a few, select few. And so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. 41 to 20. Side by side there. Then the 94 and the 93 sits in that second row. The Sam Reed and Brandon Surratt runs in that third row. And then you have Kyle Wellman going back in there. And look who's behind Kyle Wellman. You have Derek Roffling. They're going to give it a shot here. Hold on. We've got 5 more trips around here at Atlanta. Nick Galusha goes to the outside by himself. You have Brandon Surratt getting a big push by the 42 machine. Here comes Surratt to the outside. Yusufer comes out to the outside, maybe tried to put on a block there, not able to do it. That's 3 wide down that backstretch. You got the 11, you got the 42, and here comes the 94 up to the top side. 94 now goes to the bottom side. We got a caution. Caution flag ways out of this field. Oh my goodness, truck goes upside down. Hits the wall really hard, and actually he's completely out of the park. Big time mayhem, crash on the 4. Woo, we're just getting started, folks. It's just getting started. It's not over yet. We're going to have a green-white checker restart here to decide this one. That was a big push. Big push by the 42 and the 11. And the 11 was not going to lift. The 94 went up to try to block that move. That wasn't going to work. And I tell you what, when you're within 5 to go, you don't lift. You're going for it. And Brandon Surratt in the 11 car, he was going for it because he has nothing to lose. Nothing to lose in the 11 car. He had a 42 machine behind him pushing really hard. His cars hit the wall, and for Nick Galusha, his day is over. His day is probably numbered, as he has no more fast repairs on that truck. Maybe bent up a little bit. He'll try to maybe go in to do some repairs on that thing, but a chance at winning this thing is completely gone for that 20 machine. And a couple of the drivers inside the points series, inside the top 5, really kind of like that. And Paul Fly would be one of those that's pretty happy about it. Unfortunately for Paul, Paul was also involved in that accident So he is, of course, having some issues of his own. Talked about Kyle Wellman. He had some issues. Sam Reed went airborne. I mean, it was crazy. Big time action out there. All right. They're going to line them up. That's a green and white checker. When we come back, we're going to come back here in 30 seconds.
And there's your beautiful baby.
Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos at my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do?
I know.
Give me that.
All right, we're looking like a green-white checker restart here in this one. And we have got Timmy Lewis out front leading this. He has been a winner in this series. On his outside, you got Daniel Quigley. He has never won in this truck series. And then you got the 88 right behind him. Great pusher of the 88. That's Derek Roffling. Inside, you got Grant Clark. He's a pretty good pusher as well. You got the 69 of Chris Miller. Patrick Day's up here. I tell you what, you've got Steve Miller inside the top 10 right now. Steve Miller running in the 7th position. Paul Negus in the 8th position. So inside the top 10, or I should say inside the top 9, you've only got one winner in this series, and that being your leader right now of Timmy Lewis. So I would imagine if people were smart about this thing, they would not work with the 41. But with it being a green-white checkered, you can't afford to just leave him out there unless you put him 3 wide and you put him in the middle and say goodbye. You're going backwards. What will Grant Clark do? Will he be able to dip down to the inside and be able to say, see you later? Will the 18 be able to get a good run on the outside and maybe get a win here? He's got the 88 of Derek Roffling right behind him. Great pusher. We'll find out. Green-white checker here to close out Atlanta Motor Speedway. The green flag is waving. 41 of Timmy Lewis gets a healthy restart here. Looks like the 88 is going to go to the inside there and push the 06. Now you've got some pretty good friends right there. You got Grant Clark, the 88 of Derek Roffling. Now Roffling goes to the outside. Great move by Derek Roffling. Goes to the top side, 3 wide. What a move there by Grant Clark, and now they're stacking on back up in here. 3 wide there for second. Side by side, Grant Clark's got the help of his teammate, the 24 of Patrick Day. Here comes Chris Miller. Chris Miller's going to help out Patrick Day as well as they're on the countdown to green session together. They're having a ball with this one. Chris Miller up into the 3rd position. You got Timmy Lewis hung on the outside. But will Derek Roffling help that 88 or that 41? I doubt it. We're coming to the white. The white's already out. We're coming to the checkered here. Grant Clark looking for his first win on the season. The 24 of Patrick Day jumps to the outside to try to steal that win away. Is not going to be able to do it. And there is your top 3. Unbelievable finish. Your top 3 has never finished inside the top 3 like that. Maybe Patrick Day has been, yes, Patrick Day has been inside the top 3, but Grant Clark has never been inside the top 3, and Chris Miller comes home with a 3rd place finish, but Grant Clark gets the victory. The Canadian beats them all tonight in the 06 as, okay, we said that it potentially could be teammates that would win this thing. Did not call that it would be a 2-car, or actually a 3-car with Daniel Quigley. He's in that team as well as a newcomer. But those two come out on top and get the victory here at Atlanta. We're going to be back here in just a few minutes.
In a world where being at your peak is everything, one gas station dares to fuel more than just your car. This summer, don't just fill your gas tank. Fuel your peak potential.
Hi, Cheryl. What got into you?
Download the Sunoco app today. Fuel up, save up, and fuel your best.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We seen a good one here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We see another new winner in the series. The 06 of Grant Clark gets it done and puts it in victory lane. Wow. That was an exciting one. A lot of hearts were broken and a lot of anger that's left out onto that track. Woo! That was fun. Here's how the top 10 ran. Your top 10, starting with the winner, Grant Clark in the 06. The 24, Patrick Day, comes home second. Those two drivers, Grant Clark came from the 20th position. Patrick Day came from the 24th position. Then you have third place finisher Chris Miller. He came up 19 spots in this race. Timmy Lewis comes home in the 4th position. 5th was Trevor Catalano. 6th was Derek Rothling. 7th was Yusufer. 8th was Johnny Evans. 9th was Daniel Quigley. And 10th was Nick Galusha. Galusha finds a way to stay inside the top 10. Brandon Boyles comes home 11th. 12th was Steve Miller. John Ott 13th. Stephen Polacek 14th. Paul Negus 15th. Harold Ralph 16th. Jeff Herman 17th. 18th was Bobby Smith. 19th was Brandon Surratt. 20th was Sam Reed. Kyle Wellman comes home 21st, a couple laps down. Paul Fly in the 22nd position. Zach Dykstra in the 23rd position. And Ryan Palmer comes home in the 24th position. It's time for your top 3. And we'll get that one lined up here as your third place finisher of this evening. Chris Miller. That is weird to say, but Chris, what's it feel like?
Pretty decent there. The restrictor plates in Atlanta here, and you know, I mean, you've ran quite a few races. You and I have run them together, and it's definitely the only thing I can probably even have a chance at winning at. I'll take a third place finish. You know, it was about being patient tonight. I was never up front until the end. That was kind of my plan going in, and I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, it was a very, very wild race, and we've seen some anger out there on the track, teammates battling it on, and we'll continue to see that throughout the season. But trying to work through that as a driver on these restrictor plate races and be patient when everything else is kind of like chaos. What is that like? Like, how do you control that composure to say, you know what, I'm just going to run back here in the back, and then when it's my time, I'll be there?
Well, I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys here in the last 10 laps that would have probably finished ahead of me, and they were just aggressive too soon. I've always kind of been like, wait till the last, 15, 20 laps of a restrictor plate race. Unfortunately, I had to use a fast repair there, I think, with 12 to go. I kept it clean before that. But when you have teammates, I mean, obviously it's a lot easier to maneuver through a field and let them, you give the bottom away, and then you get a run, and then you take the top back away, and you work together as teammates. But a lot of teammates up there. I mean, the Rat Bastards were up there at the start of the race, and then there at the end, you had U.S. Canada there racing with Grant and Patrick and Dan Quigley. So it was tough to maneuver today. You had to be extremely patient.
Well, congratulations on that podium finish. It's nice to hear your voice in that podium spot. Man, I think you may have cracked the top 20 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I wasn't expecting that, but what a race, and glad to be there.
Well, good luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to that second place finisher, and that was Patrick Day. And so we'll try to summons Patrick Day here. And Patrick, get yourself into that second position, able to push your teammate to the win, really, there. And a good outing for this team. We talked to Chris there. He got himself a really good finish. You got yourself another top 3 finish here. But Grant Clark gets himself a win. What's it feel like to be able to push your teammate like that?
Oh, it was great. When Timmy restarted there, he got an early jump. So we kind of knew right away that we were going to run on him out of 2. So Grant's like, I'm going to take him. I was like, all right, go. Wherever you go, I'm going. So he tried to go high. Timmy blocked him, and he went low. Luckily for me, Derek Rolfing went high behind Timmy, so that gave me a point to get right behind Grant. And Timmy tried to block my entry to 3 there, but I was there. So glad he didn't keep on coming and let me go through. But, yeah, it was fun pushing him. I tried to get him to come out of 4. I saw we had a gap back to the guys behind us. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to get my win here. So that's another second-place close finish for me.
Yeah, just a couple more car lengths behind. Maybe not as close as the one with Paul Fly, but still, yeah, it's probably maybe a little bit easier to take when you get beat by your teammate versus another competitor out there on the track. But hey, you're marching yourself towards getting inside the top 5. This is a good step for you. What's going to take to close out this year when we got 3 more races to go?
3 more top 5 finishes, right? So if I can finish strong like that, I think I got a strong chance to finish in the top 5. Strong chance to get a win. Well, so we'll see. Tonight was all about patience. I heard Chris talk about it. Yeah, we were just in the back riding around. We're saying there's going to be wrecks up there. Just let them wreck themselves out, and we'll make our moves when we need to. And that's what we did, and it worked out for us.
It seemed like the aggressive drivers that we had talked about, Kyle Wellman being one of them, had a really bad finish in this, actually scored in the 21st position. It was the aggressive drivers out there that maybe not have finished as well as that what they really hoped for in this, and it took patience in this race. And I talked to Chris, you guys sit back here and wait, and the question is, when do you go in these type of races? A lot of times, and you would go at 10 to go, and it seemed like some guys that was there that normally isn't there was there with 10 to go, and that still wasn't the time to go, as it was still too aggressive at that point in time. How did you know when to go?
So I told the team 20 to go is when we were going to start making our way towards the front. And so there was a caution. So we got right at the back of the main lead pack there. It's like, well, the way they're racing, they're going to wreck again. So we just kind of stayed there. Yep, there was a caution. So we got up a little bit further. Same strategy with that, with about 10 to go. Hey, they're going to wreck again the way they're running. We're just going to stay at the back of this pack. They wrecked, of course, found ourselves in the top 5, and then that's when we said, okay, we're racing it out. Let's see what happens.
Well, man, it was a fun one. It was an exciting one. I had a good time calling this one. It was fun. It was up and down, roller coaster ride throughout much of this race. You didn't really know who was going to win this. It was definitely fun. Congratulations on that second place finish. We'll see you next week as you make your march inside the top 5.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for the broadcast as always, man. It's awesome.
Thank you. All right. Your winner is up next. That is Grant Clark. Grant Clark getting his first win on the series. Grant, you have to be excited about this one. What's it feel like?
Oh, it feels all right. Not my style of racing, the super speedway. The plan was just to sit, Patrick and I, my teammate, Nick Galusha Racing, just to sit at the back and let them sort themselves out and race at the end. And it went our way tonight. We got through all the messes, and we're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and so you get your first win on the series, and it may not be the series that either one of you hoped for, you or Patrick, at how you wanted this series to go. But, I mean, this is a good step towards getting something rolling here with the last 3 races of the series. What's it going to take to, continue that march in the right direction?
I think there's some better tracks for us coming up. Patrick's got a much better shot at it than I do. Good that he finished up there, tried to take the win from me at the end there, the bugger. But he's got a better shot at it than I do. I think I've had too many wreckouts and bad finishes to be in the chase at the end. But we're going to do our best. Just race how I always do. Patient, pass when I can, take care of the equipment, and be there at the end.
Well, I tell you what, congratulations, a big congratulations on your first win of the season. And, man, maybe we can see yourself in victory lane once again, as we still got 3 more races, and it's anybody's to be had. Congratulations once again. We'll see you next week.
Well, thank you very much, and take care. And we'll be back, and we're going to try and put it in victory lane again.
Thank you. See you. All right. That was the 06 of Grant Clark. He is the Canadian and beat them all. The entire field was Americans, and the alone Canadian gets the win. That's Grant Clark. So Grant with a win, and his march towards a better season started today with a win on the series. His buddy Patrick Day continues his march inside the top 5 in standings, and he may end up getting there sooner than later, especially after Zach Dykstra didn't have the race that he really wanted. Now he's down to his 2 drop weeks. He's pretty much done with those. He can't have another bad one. From all of us here at the Tarmac Esports Studios, thank you for tuning in here at the YouTube channel of the Tarmac Esports. And hey, if you like this, and we know several comments out there said that you really enjoy these broadcasts. Well, this is your opportunity to share that with us, that you enjoy these broadcasts. Go over to PayPal, hit that email address in there, or scan that barcode right there and give us a little donation. Anything helps, and we would greatly appreciate your donation. And from all of us here at the Tarmac Esports Studios, we'll see you next week.